Most people think the biggest threat to their wealth is a bad investment, a market crash, or maybe even overspending. But the truth is, the thing that quietly eats away at your money every single day isn't dramatic at all. It's invisible. It doesn't come with headlines or sirens, and by the time you notice it, the damage is already done. That hidden force? Inflation. Inflation is often described in numbers, 2%, 5%, 9%, but those numbers don't tell the real story. Inflation isn't just about rising prices, it's about lost time, lost opportunity, lost freedom. It's the slow leak in the financial system that makes you run harder just to stay in the same place. And here's the part no one tells you. Inflation is not an accident. It's built into the way our money works. So today, let's strip away the confusion and explain exactly what inflation is, why it exists, and how it silently steals wealth from anyone who doesn't understand how to fight back. Let's start simple. Imagine you've saved $100 under your mattress. You don't spend it, you don't invest it, you just hold it, thinking, at least I'll always have $100. Now, fast forward 20 years. Prices have risen. That same $100 can no longer buy what it used to. Maybe in the 2000s, $100 could fill a shopping cart. Today, it might only cover a basket. In the future, maybe just a few items. The bills in your hand didn't change, but their power did. That's inflation in action. It's not the money disappearing, it's the value disappearing. And this is where the first trap begins. Most people are told to save their money, open a savings account, put cash aside, be conservative. But what they're not told is that a savings account earning 1% interest while inflation runs at 4% is a guaranteed way to lose wealth. Slowly, quietly, and visibly. Now, why does this happen? Why does the cost of living keep climbing year after year? It comes down to one thing: the way modern money is created. See, unlike gold or hard assets, money today isn't fixed in supply. Governments and central banks can create more of it whenever they want, and they do, to pay debts, to stimulate the economy, to fund wars, to cover emergencies. Every time more money is printed, the value of existing money gets diluted. It's like watering down juice. The more water you add, the weaker the flavor becomes. In money terms, the more dollars in circulation, the weaker each dollar is at buying things. That's why your grandparents could buy a house for the price of what a new car costs today. It's not that houses got better, it's that the dollar got weaker. And here's the twist: governments actually want inflation. Why? Because inflation makes debt easier to pay back. If you owe $1 trillion and the money becomes weaker every year, your debt gets cheaper in real terms. For governments drowning in debt, inflation is the silent escape hatch. But for the everyday person, it's the opposite. Your wages rarely rise as fast as prices. Your rent, your groceries, your gas, all of them creep up faster than your paycheck. And slowly, your standard of living shrinks. Inflation isn't just some abstract number economists argue about on TV. It shows up in your life every single day, and it usually hides in plain sight. Take housing. In the 1990s, the average home in the U.S. cost about $120,000. Today, that number is closer to $400,000. On paper, homeowners look wealthier. Their house tripled in value. But did the house really change? It's still the same four walls, the same roof, the same street. What changed wasn't the house. It was the dollar. The currency lost so much value that it now takes 3 times as many dollars to buy the same thing. Now zoom in on food. Look at the size of a cereal box or a bag of chips compared to 10 years ago. Prices haven't just gone up. Packages have gotten smaller. This trick even has a name: shrinkflation. You pay the same or more, but get less. It's inflation disguised so you don't complain. Healthcare is another big one. In the U.S., the cost of a hospital stay, surgery, or even basic prescriptions has skyrocketed. Wages haven't kept up. So families end up drowning in medical debt not because medicine suddenly became magical, but because the currency buying it became weaker while the system piled on inefficiencies. And here's the psychological trap. Inflation makes you think you're progressing when you're really standing still. Maybe you get a raise at work, say 5%. You feel good, you're earning more. But if inflation that year is 6%, you didn't actually get ahead. You got poorer by 1%. Yet on paper, it looks like a win. That's how inflation quietly steals, not by taking money out of your pocket, but by making the money in your pocket worth less. This is why people feel like they're running on a treadmill that only speeds up. Every year, it takes more effort just to maintain the same lifestyle. And while wages creep forward inch by inch, the cost of living jumps forward mile by mile. Now, here's the part that really stings. Inflation punishes savers and rewards borrowers. Think about it. If you save $10,000 in cash, its buying power melts away over time. But if you borrow $10,000 to buy an asset, like a house, inflation actually helps you. Why? Because you'll be paying that loan back with weaker dollars in the future. The bank still gets its $10,000 back, but by then, $10,000 won't buy nearly as much. This is why the wealthy play the game differently. They don't hoard cash. They put money into assets, real estate, stocks, businesses, commodities, things that tend to rise with or even beat inflation. Meanwhile, the average person clings to safety in savings accounts, CDs, or cash, and slowly watches their future evaporate. And here's the irony. Central banks know this. They design the system this way. Inflation isn't a bug in the system, it's the feature that keeps money flowing, debts manageable, and the economy constantly chasing growth. But for the average person, it feels like climbing a ladder where the rungs keep moving farther apart. Inflation isn't loud. It doesn't crash like the stock market or make headlines like a financial scandal. It creeps. A few cents on groceries here, a few dollars on gas there, until one day you realize your paycheck doesn't stretch like it used to. That's the real danger. It works silently, steadily, and relentlessly. It's not just numbers on a chart. It shapes choices, dreams, and even generations. Inflation decides who buys homes and who rents forever. It decides who builds wealth through assets and who struggles to save while their money melts in a bank account. And while the wealthy learn to ride inflation by owning investments that rise with it, the average person is left holding weaker dollars, wondering why life feels harder every year. So in conclusion, inflation's more than an economic trend. It's a silent wealth killer, but it doesn't have to be your enemy. Understand it, plan for it, and you can turn it into a tool instead of a trap. Because in a world where money constantly loses value, the greatest power you have is to make sure your money grows faster than inflation can shrink it.